Greetings with a hollaballa and a brofist to you all. This is your boy T to the Ek Priest Tech Priest, here once again with another episode on the Totally Legit Lore channel, where we discuss totally legit lore and nothing else. And you're watching another episode of Totally Legit Lore on the Totally Legit Lore channel, where we talk about nothing but the totally legit lore of the Warhammer 40th Millennium game. And in today's episode, we'll be looking at a rather obscure character who is not very widely known and is mostly a character that has been obscure to this point. So we'll have to make some assumptions about his backstory as well as what's happening with him in the storyline, though we can use some context clues and we can make our assumptions very easily. And if you couldn't guess who this character was up to this point, that's okay, because we're about to reveal this character, who is rather obscure but has been an up-and-comer within the story. Maybe someday he'll be a significant character that performs a vital function within the storyline. This character being Robert Gilman. And what can we tell? Oh man, well, okay, look, I don't mean to interrupt the flow of this episode, but look right here. Games Workshop is such a massive company with so many resources, but look, they misspelled the name of the character on the packaging. I get it, he's not that important of a character, but come on, at least get the name right. Here, let me correct it for them so that it reads correctly, Robhart Gilman. There we go, all corrected on the packaging so that people can understand who I'm talking about, because once again, Games Workshop can't be competent enough to write the name correctly, and that's just how you spell Robhart. Has anyone spelled it any other way? I don't know. I'm just mad about it. What can I say? Anyway, so what can we tell about this minor character? Because he hasn't really shown up in the story that much, we have to look at some context clues about what he's wearing and what he does. The first thing we can see, this is some kind of Azor Ahai Prophet character because of the giant flaming sword that he carries and the multiple torches that he uses to light his path. Additionally, he looks very pretentious, but, and for the astute viewers, if you look at his left knee, you'll notice an interesting symbol, and that is the letter U. What could the letter U mean? Well, if you then further look down on his right shin, you'll see the word ultra. So you'll see there's letter U and the word ultra. What can those two things have in common? Well, not that much. At the very best, you might think that he's saying you're ultra, sort of like a weird way of saying you're a bit extra. But that's not all. For the very observant viewer, if you look at his belt buckle, you'll see one final context clue, which is the number 13. And what does the number 13 signify? That's correct, bad luck. And when you put all this together, it's saying you're gonna have ultra bad luck if you cross Robhart Gilman. And that's his way of telling you what's gonna happen. Inversely, if you look at it differently, it's in the front of his armor, and if he's charging at you, you can think that it's saying ultra bad luck is coming at you. Yes, you. So don't get in the path of Robert Gilman, as bad luck will come your way. And the reason he doesn't just come out and say it is because he only wants the wise to survive, sort of like an emperor's new clothing, where only the wise will understand that ultra bad luck is coming at you. And remember, that's signified by it being on the front of the armor, not on the side, because if it was on the side, you might get a little confused. Is bad luck going out to the sides? No, it's coming in the front towards you. So that's the first thing we can tell about Robert Gilman. But did you notice something else? That whether it's ultra bad luck is coming your way or that you're gonna have ultra bad luck, both of those form some kind of triangle shape. So what does that mean? Why, you guessed it, that he's part of the illustrious pyramid scheme in order to fund his adventures, as he needs plenty of money to take over the galaxy. And how do we know he's trying to take over the galaxy as some kind of space emperor? Well, if you look up top on his head, you'll notice there's some kind of green leaves, and some people might mistakenly believe that's a laurel, but actually that's just his hair. It's kind of weird. We don't really understand why it does that, but it's very specific that that's just what his hair does. However, if you look at him with his helmet on, you will notice very quickly that he is in fact wearing a laurel on his helmet. So remember, the laurel on his helmet is actually a laurel. It is not a representation of his hair, which looks like a laurel for some reason that we can't really figure out yet. Now, what else can we see? Well, he has a lot of different eagles all over his armor, and what does that mean? It means he's gonna soar like an eagle. He's gonna be a champion. He's gonna get out there. He's gonna soar like an eagle, and if we turn his model around, we can see that he has little wings on the back so that he can fly, but he can't really fly because they're too small, so it doesn't really make any sense, and that's a little bit of signaling that Robert got a little wrong. Though Robert isn't known to be the most tactically minded person, so he just kind of clobbers things with his giant sword, so we can forgive him for that little oversight. Though one other thing you'll notice on his wings is that it says glory and might. In this case, this means that if you follow him, so that means if you're following him, you're following the path of glory and might. However, there could be a dual meaning in all this, in that if he's slain you or that he's left you behind, it means might and glory are escaping you, and that you will never have it because you've crossed Robert Gilman and you've experienced some bad luck. And what else can we see? And what else can we see on his backpack? Well, we can see a very important logo, which is the Cog Mechanicus. Does that mean he's working with the Cog Mechanicus, or does the Cog Mechanicus work with him? him. We won't really know, we'll have to wait and see how his character story turns out, as there's not much available at this time in regards to where he is in the universe. All we know is that he's running around smacking people with his giant fiery sword and making very symbolic armor for himself and his troops, because as we've seen, he's incredibly into symbolism, and one day maybe he'll be some kind of space emperor, because we know that he's very hubristic due to how he dresses and how he has all this symbology in him, that he is the bad luck that is coming your way, as well as being the path of glory and might himself. With his flaming sword and his laurels, as well as his weird looking hair, he runs around pretending to be some kind of cult leader, god emperor. And as we know in the Warhammer games, there is no such thing as that. It's only the Omnissiah that can be that. Everyone else is simply a shallow imposter. And that's a completely unbiased fact coming to you from Tech Priest, the worshipper of the Omnissiah. And those are all the facts I have for you today on April 1st for this obscure character that will hopefully see not make a fool of himself. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching and have a great day. And once again, this has been another episode of Totally Legit Lore coming to you on April 1st for our Totally Legit Lore update on obscure characters and other decorative hubcap memorabilia where we decoratively hang old harmonicas from our windowsills. And this is your boy Tech Priest signing out once again. Peace. Also, April Fool's jokes aside, a quick update to the channel, there will be Warzone Caridin content coming soon, as well as content on other series, such as Drukhari and even Space Marines. It's just a matter of me doing the research and putting out the episodes, so there's plenty of awesome things to come. Hopefully this little joke on April Fool's hasn't completely alienated my audience, and thank you for watching as always, have a great day, see you next time. Greetings with a hollaballa and a brofist to you all. This is your boy T to the Ek Priest Tech Priest, here once again with another episode on the Totally Legit Lore channel, where we discuss totally legit lore and nothing else. And you're watching another episode of Totally Legit Lore on the Totally Legit Lore channel, where we talk about nothing but the totally legit lore of the Warhammer 40th Millennium game. Okay, look, I don't mean to interrupt the flow of this episode, but okay, look, I don't mean to interrupt the flow of this episode, but and those are all the facts I have for you today, as there's not much available at this time. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching and have a great day. And once again, this has been another episode of Totally Legit Lore for our Totally Legit Lore update.